Hi, this is Enis from Never Stop Trucking. Today I decided to go live with a new setup, with some new things. Welcome everyone, and then hopefully we'll have more people join soon. My name is Enis. This is Never Stop Trucking. We talk about trucking, dispatching, and other trucking topics. In this one, I thought I'd get some topics for you to go over with, and we can also answer some questions. If you have any, leave them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as good as I can. The first topic that I have for you today is the Trump's tariffs. What's that gonna be like, and how is that going to help or hurt the trucking industry? There are quite a few articles online about these tariffs, and none of them can predict anything as far as that goes, because it's very hard. And I have a feeling that most people are not in favor of those tariffs, but they're just cautiously waiting to see what's going to happen. Even his fans, as far as I can tell, the hardcore fans, whatever Trump does, they agree with that. But most of these people are just cautiously waiting to see if those tariffs are going to be imposed on those countries or not, and then how much they're going to be, and what's that gonna be like for us. How is that going to affect us? And then even if it affects the trucking industry, and it will in one or another way, we won't be able to see the results of that for a while, for a few months, or maybe even a year or so. Hello, Erlich. Welcome everyone to the live stream, or the podcast, should I call it? I don't know. But if you have any questions, like I said in the beginning, you can ask them, and I'll try to answer them in the second half of this stream. I don't want to go over 1 hour, so maybe 30 minutes of talking about these topics, and then the rest answering the questions or commenting. Hey, Detroit Euro, how are you? So Trump tariffs. Let me show you here. So I got some stuff ready for this first live stream. Hopefully you're gonna like it. So I made some templates. Here we go. I think this looks nice. So I'm going to be looking at some articles here online, and then maybe talking about them. So the first one that we're talking about today is the Trump tariffs. This one is from Freight Waves. And even Freight Waves, they're very cautious about saying what they think is going to happen. They also say that it typically takes months for a full implementation of tariffs using administrative action. Bottom line, we don't know for certain what January will bring. And as a border policy is obviously a central theme for the Trump presidency, it's crucial to plan for different scenarios, because his thing is that he's trying to pressure Mexico and China to tighten the immigration flow to the United States, and also drugs from China. So that's what his excuse is. Now here there was another interesting thing in this article. I'm trying to find it here for you. So a mass deportation of undocumented immigrants could severely impact sectors like agriculture, construction, and manufacturing that rely heavily on immigrant labor. Now, when they say immigrant labor, they for sure mean illegal immigrant labor, because that's where these guys can find their cheap labor. Now, if they suddenly decide to do the mass deportation of these people, then the prices will go even higher because of the labor cost. They're going to have to hire someone that wants more money. So it's a double-edged sword for that. Let me see what people are saying. Hey, I'm going to. So this is my first stream that's in this setup. Just got some truck posted. Yeah, well, it's tough out there. I can tell you that for sure. Now let's go to the second topic here that I have here for you today, and that would be this Werner nuclear verdict. It's what they call them. This one here has been going on for 10 years. This case, the driver was driving. It was winter, and they had black ice, and he was just driving on an interstate, and there was another car that came over from the other side of the highway, crossed over the median, and hit the truck. The truck didn't do anything wrong. The truck was just driving in his lane, and I believe a child died in that accident in the car. And they've been on and off with this case, and the jury decided that it was 70% fault for the Werner driver, and they awarded the lady, I think it was the lady that drove the car, they awarded her with $90 million, and then they went to $100 million because Werner should have trained the driver better, and the driver did not go over the speed limit. The driver actually was under the speed limit, and they still say that the driver should not have been there because, and this is really crazy, what they are saying is that had the driver been driving slower, then the driver would not have been there at that time. So, well, what had the driver not been born, then he would, like, that's not a case for it just doesn't make any sense. But the issue with this is these big companies, they have higher insurance, right? And they can see that, people can see if this had been a smaller company, like one truck or 10 trucks, their insurance goes up to like $1 or $2 million, and that's it. But the lawyers know that these big companies, they either have money or they have a big high insurance coverages, and therefore they can pay, and they go after. And it's just greed to go after them, because the driver, obviously it's not the driver's fault, right? If this was driver's fault, then it'd be a different story. But any sane person can just notice that this is not a driver's fault. Let's go back to our comment section here. So like I said, if you have any comments or any suggestions or any questions, let me know. Also, if you are an owner operator, you can talk to me about leasing your truck to us, to Usora Express. Let's go to the next thing here. So I have this habit of browsing the internet for stories about truckers, carriers, brokerages, and Reddit as well. So on Reddit, there can be you can find a lot of good topics and people asking legitimate questions on Reddit about the trucking industry, and there are some people who will have really good answers. And what I like about Reddit is that people can upvote the replies, and then you don't have to scroll through the whole forum to read all the answers or find the best answer. You can usually, like, the top 2 or 3 answers, they're enough for you. Freight brokerage Reddit subreddit is really interesting for me. I encourage you to check out all of them because they have, truckers, owner-operators, carriers, a lot of things there. But one of them is freight brokers. And freight brokers seems to be the most busy one with most posts. And there you can see how brokers really think about carriers, about drivers, some of the things they're doing, some of the good and some of the bad things as well. So for this one, I went there and I'm going to show this to you. I'm just going to zoom in here for me so I can see it. All right, here we go. So this guy, he's a freight broker, and then he's dispatching someone on the side. So how is that legal? Is that ethic? I don't know. But he's dispatching one of the carriers that he's working with, and then he's charging him 2% of the load. And I think he mentioned that he's in Argentina, so he's not in the United States. But then he's asking if that's enough. Now, first thing I want to tell you about this is that, okay, so you're either a broker or you're a dispatcher, right? So you're trying to do both. Okay, you're trying to make some extra money and no one needs to know. I understand. 2%, in my opinion, is not enough because even if you go abroad, like other countries like India and Pakistan and Eastern Europe, they will charge now around 3%. Here in the United States, I always say like 5 to 6 is in my opinion, is okay, but 2% for dispatching, I don't know how is that worth your time. Another thing I wanted to talk about is dispatching in general. I'm getting a lot of emails here lately, especially with people asking me to teach them dispatching, and they're looking to purchase a course or learn dispatching or work with me or for me. And most of these people, like if you're an experienced dispatcher and you're probably already set, you have a company where you work for or you work for yourself. But if you are just starting, if you're a beginner, or if you're looking into becoming a dispatcher, then you reach out to someone like these people are. But right now, I keep telling everyone, hey, the markets are really bad. There are so many dispatchers out there. Even in the trucking authority here in Usora Express, I get phone calls every day from dispatchers asking them to dispatch my trucks. So there's still a lot of dispatchers out there who do it, especially from abroad. And my point is, like, if you don't know anything about trucking and you don't have any owner operators, you don't even have a way, you don't even know where to start in looking for owner operators or how you're going to attract them. In my honest opinion, right now, you shouldn't really be doing this. This is not. It's not that it's not for you. It's not for anyone that's in that position, that doesn't have any experience, that doesn't know how to get owner operators, that doesn't even know where to begin, and you're looking to buy a course, maybe, even if it's from us, right? The course that we are offering can be used for established trucking companies that want to teach their dispatchers. They can train them. Like you don't have to personally train them. You can just use that. Or it could be that this is an owner operator who wants to learn how to dispatch him or herself, or a scenario like that. Or you just want to use it as a supplement for your training. And that's totally fine. I would be happy if you get the course. But I will not be happy if you don't know anything about trucking, about dispatching, you live outside of the United States, and you spend your money because the cost of these dispatching courses are easily 1 month's worth of salary in these countries. and you're spending all that hard-earned money, and you don't even know if this is for you or if you're gonna, be successful. Even like you don't even know where to look for owner operators. So just don't do it. Don't buy these courses. Don't even buy this course from us if you're in that position. I'm getting a lot of people from like third world countries. They say, "Hey, brother, I don't have any money to spend. How can I, get into the program?" The easiest thing for me is to say, "Hey, like, okay, here's a big discount, or here's even like here's a free, like I'll give you free access." But if you're in that position, this is not gonna do you any good. Just look for something else, because right now the industry is really tough for new people. Yesterday, I got an email from someone, and he's saying he's in a refugee camp. I don't remember, like there was a name of the refugee camp. I don't know which country this is, but like, how are you going to be a dispatcher from a refugee camp? Just think about it. Like, people, this is serious business, okay? Now, in one hand, I say anyone can be a dispatcher. Like, you don't even need a high school. You can just, as long as you know English, you have access to internet, you have a computer, you have some knowledge, or like you're outgoing, you want to learn new things, and you're consistent, then you can make it. But if you don't have a good internet connection, and it's hard for you to invest that money to buy a computer, to buy a course, to pay for DAT, and you're not even going to be able to get DAT. That's another issue from these countries. That's another issue. So just don't spend your money on that, please. Please look for something else. Maybe in future, if the markets become better, maybe if there are more opportunities here, or something changes. But right now, please don't spend your money on that. Don't do it, okay? Let me see here. I am 16-year-old and this successful dispatcher. Okay, I believe you. That's totally fine. I know some people where I am from in Bosnia that are very young and that are successful, but they have the means. They have the they can invest and they can learn, and they are not gonna give up. But I'm just saying, if you don't have money to spend on a dispatching course, don't do it. Don't borrow that money and spend it on that. Like, even like I said, even if you get it for free, I don't think it's going to help you much in that journey. So just right now, if you're an established dispatcher or you're a driver, something like that, just you're successful, or you're just making it by, like most people are, that's fine. But I'm talking about brand new people who don't know anything about it, and they see someone dispatching trucks, or they see these YouTube channels. And that would be another thing I wanted to talk about, some of these YouTube channels that promote dispatching. Now, a year ago or 2 years ago, this channel was promoting dispatching hard. And like I said, we still have dispatching courses. We still have them, but only if you're 100% sure that this is for you, that's fine. And that's why we have it. And we believe that it's worth that money, right? Because there's a 20 years of experience put into those videos, and there's a program and all of that. That's fine. And we were promoting the dispatching course like hard. But right now, for me, I don't think it's fair to promote those dispatching courses that hard and say, hey, you can do it. That's, like with this program, you can make so much money. No, that was maybe a year or two ago, but right now, I don't think that's the truth. And then I see, unfortunately, some of the YouTube channels here that talk about dispatching and trucking, because that's their main source of income, right? I do understand that. But to claim that you're going to make millions of dollars or thousands of dollars in dispatching starting from scratch without any experience, like you're not even here, to me, I don't think that's honest, an honest thing to say. There is right now, and I don't have a problem with mentioning There is this one channel that I respect that talks about trucking and dispatching, and it's called Trucking Made Successful. And I respect the channel, and then what she's doing, that's really great. But if I look everywhere else, it's just like entertainment. Like we have effects, slides. What's the name? The title that can't remember the title. What is it? I can't remember the name. But when you say in a title that something's going on, but it's clickbait. Yeah, clickbait titles, clickbait thumbnails, and people are trying to make this entertaining. In this channel, I never wanted to do entertaining. I wanted to give you the most information that I can, share my experience, and even if I make a mistake, we all learn with that. So please make sure you trust the person. Make sure that the person that's advertising this is not only after your money, that they genuinely want to help you. Okay. Let me see here if we have any questions or comments. So ProGuesser was saying that he's 16 years old and he wants to build an office with employees. I'm all for it. That's great. Detroit, Europe. My cousin just got into dispatching flatbeds. I've been trying to help him out on dispatching, but I've got experience with 53-foot dry vans only. What's the biggest difference with flatbed and dry vans? So we work with flatbeds too. We have a few of them right now. There is, when you look at it, once you start dispatching them, flatbeds and dry vans, it's not that big of a difference. As long as you have a driver in that flatbed that knows what they're doing, that helps a lot. And usually with flatbed drivers, you will not have someone that, without. We did have one guy that was like 2 months ago. He was, there was a truck owner. He's still with us, but he hired this guy, and this guy never done flatbeds. So this guy that was driving that flatbed, he was over securing everything. Like he would spend hours on tightening that load, and then it was just way too much. It was overkill. And that's a good thing, right? Better safe than sorry, but it was eating up so much of his time that he wasn't able to drive, right? And he was always freaking out, stopping every 100 miles to make sure that his load is secure. So most of the times the driver will know what they're doing, and the driver will tell the dispatcher, like even if you book a load that doesn't work for them, the driver will usually tell the dispatcher, hey, this is not good. This is not going to work. But same thing, like when you're working with reefer versus dry van, there are different questions that you have to ask the broker when you're booking a flatbed load as opposed to a dry van load. For example, and they will usually tell you that, but you should ask, is it straps, chains? Does it need to be tarped? That's like one of the biggest concerns is the tarping. Is it an oversized load? How long is if it's a piece of equipment or several of them, or if you have multiple pickups, because you don't want driver to if you have 3 pickups and driver, because a lot of times flatbed loads will have those. So the driver picks up the first 2, and the driver does not position these loads the way he should, and he doesn't leave enough room for the 3rd pickup, or they don't, like the shipper or the broker doesn't count on that, then you have a problem at the 3rd pickup. So you want to know the dimensions, also if it's over height, right? You have to know the dimensions of the load. And usually a lot of times, it would be pallets, just like with a dry van, like pallets of shingles, of cement, of blocks, stuff like that. So sometimes they will need special equipment like stakes. Like if you're doing pipes, they will ask for stakes, and then they have like heavy duty stakes. How many stakes do you need? Boards like dunnage, the 4x4s that go underneath. So you will have to ask all the questions like what exactly does the driver need? And if the broker says something that you're not familiar with, like with some kind of equipment, don't be shy. Ask like what that is, or ask the driver, or try to find on Google what it is like. But you have to make sure you have that. If it's something, because there are a lot of terms for flatbed equipment that are different. Some people may be talking about the same thing, but they name those things different, right? So if you're not sure what they're telling, don't just say, hey, yeah, we have that. Like just ask, hey, like what is that exactly? Because I'm not sure, right? Don't be afraid to ask. Another thing is that these loads tend to be much more heavy than the dry van loads. So a lot of them will be 46, 47, 48,000 pounds, even that. And then in the back, if the tandem, if you have the tandems like on a dry van, the ones that you can slide, then they're different, right? But if you have the tandems that are spread apart, then usually they can go, I think, 40,000 pounds in the back. So the drivers will tend to put more weight on the back. Ask the driver what they don't want to pick up, what they don't want to work with. For example, coils. Some drivers will not work with coils. They don't want to do them because coils, like especially the big ones, they cannot load them. Like they can't load them flat. They have to be standing up, and you need several chains to secure that. And usually, the heavy ones, you can only do one and put them in the middle of the trailer. And if something goes wrong, it can kill the driver or people on the road. So a lot of people will not work with coils. So that's the biggest difference, like the weight of the load, and then also you have the equipment that a flatbed needs like tarps, 6-foot tarps, 8-foot tarps, things like that. And you will need to make sure that the driver knows what they're doing. If the driver knows what they're doing, then it's going to be much easier for you and for the company, and a lot of that has to do with the safety issues. Like you have to be able to trust this driver that they're safe on the road. Even if you have to just ask them, tell them, hey, the policy of this company is that you take a picture of the load, of a secured load, and send it to me. Just you can make sure that the driver secured it properly. Next comment, what do we have here? If you want to make $1 million in trucking, you need to start with 2 million. So, yes, I did watch a video the other day where this guy claims that he made $1 million in dispatching. There are several issues with that statement. First issue is that he does have his own authority. So I don't know if he combined that, because like if you have an owner operator that's leased onto you, that owner operator could make like $200,000 in gross. So that's the gross revenue. And then, of course, this is not your revenue or profit, right? This money just comes into the company. If you have your own authority and you have an owner-operator leased onto you, and this owner-operator makes $200,000 in a year, this will come into your account and go out, right? And then you will keep your commission. Whatever your commission is, that's what you're going to keep. And that's still not your profit because you have your own expenses as well. Dispatcher, you have to pay office subscriptions, other liabilities that may arise down the road. So even if you charge like 12% for your commission, if this is an owner operator leased onto you, then this is not your profit. So that's far from $1 million. So this guy combined, I'm assuming, his dispatching business and the trucking business, and then he claimed that he made them $1 million, right? So then that's not fair. That's a good clickbait for your viewers, but it's not the truth. You're the best, and it's appreciate the information. Thank you for being here every time. Hey Muhammad, how much the insurance for new authority average, and how much to add a driver? So the insurance for a new authority can be, I would say, I'm going to start low with $10,000 a year, but that's really low. Most people are not going to get that rate. But maybe for a few special ones that do have experience, or they can find a good agent, let's just say 10 to 15,000 a year for one truck, up to like 30 or more. And I've seen people getting quotes from Progressive for like $35,000 or $40,000 per year for one truck. And this is for liability and cargo insurance. Some people will not know the difference, but these are two different policies, liability and cargo. My one guy is paying $2,038 a month for new authority. Wow. So that's like $500 a week. So 2,000. Well, yeah, that's 25,000 a year, which is kind of an average, right, for a new company. But I've seen lower rates. I've seen higher rates than that. So let's say that's an average, around 25 grand a year. And this is liability and cargo. Remember, liability, the FMCSA right now requires you to have a coverage for $750,000 for liability. That's their mandate. But most brokers, like 99% of the brokers, will ask you for $1 million for liability. And then some of them will even require you to have additional $1 million or $2 million for general liability. Now that policy, $1 million general liability, is not that expensive. It's like between $500 and $1,000 a year, right? And this is for the whole policy. This is not per truck. But for general liability, usually we want $1 million coverage. And then most brokers, all brokers will need at least $100,000 coverage for the cargo insurance. Now, FMCSA does not require you to have cargo. You don't have to have that. But in order to transport a load, then you will have to have cargo insurance. Sometimes there are some higher paying loads that they will require like 200 or 250K in insurance or more. But those are different policies. These policies will cost more, and it's usually harder to get them. It's not impossible, but it's a little bit harder to get higher coverage for the insurance. Now, let's say, I'm going to take an example. So for liability insurance, let's say it's $10,000 a year. Let's just say that for one truck. Then your cargo insurance will be around $1,500 a year. So between $1,000 and $2,000 per year for a truck, and that's for the cargo. So we have to make sure you know the difference for that. But if you put most people will put them together, then they will say, okay, our insurance is $12,000 a year. So that guy, as an example, his insurance is $25,000 a year. That's $500 a week, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. That's why I don't advise, like if people ask me right now, or if they tell me, hey, I'm going to open up my own MC number, I argue that they're going to make a little bit more money if they're leased on to someone that, let's say, charges them 12%, like here at Usora Express. Right now, our commission for owner-operators that leased on to us is 12%. They get 88%. But I argue that because of our lower insurance rates and our discounts on fuel, and the fact that we can work with all brokers out there, that they will make more money as opposed to opening up their own MC number right now, because first thing, they're going to pay a lot more money, twice as much almost for the insurance. Most brokers will not work with them. They will have to work with cheap brokers like C.H. Robinson and TQL, and it will be hard for them to book those loads and to run consistently, right? And then there's a liability, like what if the broker does not pay you? Then you're not going to get paid if you have your own company, right? So that's my thing. But yeah, around $20, $25, $30,000, and then don't go with Progressive. Progressive is probably the worst insurance in trucking right now. Even with your car, because I used to have a Progressive with my cars as well. In the beginning, that's what they do. They give you a decent rate for your car, and then after a year, they just start giving you higher quotes for every renewal, like every 3 or 6 months or 1 year. They just keep raising it up until it's just ridiculous. Then you have to look for another insurance. And then if you go back to Progressive after like 1 year or 6 months that you have been with new insurance, they will again give you that lower rate again. So you switch to them and then save some money, and they keep doing it all the time. But with trucking, it's bad. And I told this story many times. When I first opened up Usora Express, that was 4 years ago, I had to go with Progressive because no other insurance would want to work with me because I was brand new. Even though I had experience with trucking, I had my trucks that I had at my previous company that I co-owned. But they said, no, you're brand new. We're going to treat you as new. And they gave me a quote for like $18,000 a year for one truck, one trailer, and one driver. And with Progressive, it changes. Like they give you different quotes for each truck and each driver based on like how much experience the driver has, where they live, the tickets, if they have any. But with normal insurance, like for example with Great West, all trucks are paying the same rate, no matter what the truck is, like what year the truck is, where the driver is from, how many tickets does the driver have, anything like that, as long as they can insure that driver. So if you're paying like, I don't know, like $12,000 a year, you're paying the same rate to the dollar for each driver and truck. But with Progressive, that's not the case. And they will slowly increase to the point when I added my third truck with Progressive, the third truck, they wanted like over $30,000 a year for the third truck. It didn't make any sense, right? So I found someone else that's much more affordable. So, and the Progressive, and anyone I spoke to, they tell me the same thing. And another thing with Progressive is that they used to back then, I think they only wanted you if you're under 500-mile radius, right? Once you go out of that 500-mile radius, then they give you even a higher rate. I don't know right now if that's the case, but I think that was the case back then. I need to get some water, talking too much. And then I'm going to look at these comments here. Amir Jeremiah. Gdje si, Amir, šta ima? I know Amir, we worked, I was driving my own truck, and then he was a dispatcher. That was in like 2006, I think. And now he owns GRMI. It's a big, it's a good company out of Grand Rapids here. Thank you so much. How much to add driver? Usually the normal insurances, like I was talking about Great West as an example, usually they will not charge you anything extra for a driver. Maybe like $20, $50 or something like that extra. So once you remove a driver, you know, you might see a small difference, but usually what they care is a truck and trailer, right? For the truck, it's the majority goes towards the truck. For example, if you have a policy, and I'm talking about like this is my example, like $12,000 a year for like a normal average rate for a decent company, United States right now. So those $12,000, maybe like $900 will go towards the trailer for the liability insurance, because there is a small portion that goes towards the trailer, right? So you will pay the majority, like 90% of the rate for the truck, like 10% for the trailer. That's from that premium. And then maybe if a very small portion for a driver. So for a driver, usually with these normal insurances, it will not make any difference if you have a driver on that policy or no, as far as the premium goes, okay? I can hook you up with good insurance. Well, Amir, that's very nice. Our insurance is expiring soon, so yeah, I can email you, or you can email me or text me. I think I still have your phone number. I'm gonna check, but that'd be great because I'm looking around for. Yeah, I have your phone number. I don't know if it's still okay or not, but anyway, we can get in touch. Thanks, Amir. Okay, so cool. Smart technologies. What is the last four? The last four is 7850. I don't think this is yours, because this is Amir from Velox. I don't think this is you. But yeah, you have my Amir. You have my phone number. It's in the thumbnail, like in the banner on the YouTube channel. My phone number is up there. Oh, that's the one? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'll text you. Thanks, buddy. In Velox. I don't remember. I don't remember you being at Velox. That's weird. Okay. Okay, cool. Let me go here, because I was driving in Velox too. That was a long time ago. I was using DAT loadboard on my MC, but now they put me on complaints and my account is not working. How can I get a new account? Well, I don't know. I guess you would have to ask DAT and why they put it. Why they don't want to give you access. So I'm assuming you have your own trucking company, Smart Technologies. If you have your own trucking company with an MC number, that shouldn't be a problem. Same with my company with Progressive, insane prices. Yeah, Progressive. If I had stayed with Progressive, I switched after I think 2 months from Progressive, and I found a local agent here in Grand Rapids, the one that I had used before with my previous company. And I told them the story. I called them. I said that Progressive is doing this to me. And they say, hey, well, you have experience in trucking. They should not be treating you as a brand new company, right? As brand new to this business. So I sent them proofs that I had been in the business, that I own my own trucks, that I had my own policy before in my own name, presented them. They wanted to see the loss runs and all of that. I sent it to them, and they were able to give me a quote that was like almost three times less than what Progressive did. And then I stayed with the same insurance ever since. So they did a really good thing for me. If I had stayed with Progressive, it probably make me go out of business because like the owner operators that I was trying to get to switch to my new company, I was, the liability that I had before was like half of that, 50% of what I was paying with Progressive. So how am I going to tell these owner operators, hey, come with me to my new authority, but I'm going to charge you twice as much for liability? So I was like, okay, well, hopefully I can shop for new insurance in the meantime. And then I'm just going to give them the deal that I had before, and I'm going to eat the cost. So I had to pay like $200-300 extra every week for each driver out of my own pocket just to bring them on. And that was not like, it wasn't feasible, right? But then, so like I said, good thing I switched to the new insurance, because otherwise I would not be in business anymore had I stayed with them. Recommend insurance agent. So Amir is gonna recommend someone for me later, but I use a local agent here out of town called Doyle and Ogden. I don't get any commissions or anything like that for recommending them. I just recommend them because they're good people. And they did say that they can work with multiple others, because they're from Michigan, and they can work with companies out of different states, and but not all of the states. So you would have to call them and see if they can work with you depending on your state. How many trucks average dispatcher can handle? Well, you know, 5, 10, 15, depends on the markets, depends on your skills, depends on if you're doing anything else besides that. Because right now, like what we are doing here, right now, Emro and I, and and Chris, like Chris is just dispatching, but Emro and I, we're doing everything else too. So if you were to give me 10 trucks and do all of this, I probably wouldn't be able to handle it, especially right now in these markets. So I would be able maybe to handle 5, maybe 6. I don't know, like it would be okay. I could do it, but it's just like too much. It's too much work. But a dispatcher that works by themselves, or I mean, like that don't do anything else. They just do dispatching. They don't do invoices, like no after hours calling or helping with finding a shop on the road, anything like that. Then that dispatcher could probably do 10 trucks. But in these markets right now, and I know, like Emmer was telling me, he was dealing with like 18 trucks, like 3 years ago when we had those good times, he was dealing like 15, 18 trucks at the same time. But right now, 10 is really maximum, and even that is pushing it, right? So it depends on a lot of things. Is it real to get a freight guard report? I'm going to have to, because I can't read this. I'm getting old. And then people are telling like, you have glasses. Well, I have glasses because I can't see, not because I can see. Okay, so no, we don't want that. Give me 1 second. My computer is trying to print something in the middle of a stream. That's weird. Okay. Is it real to get freight guard a report on Carrier 401 or other sources if you are owner operator and using outsourced dispatch service located abroad? Well, if you're an owner operator and you have your own authority, then yeah, you could get a freight guard report for sure, because you have your own authority and you're treated same as a trucking company that has 100 trucks, right? It's the authority that matters. And if your dispatcher that's outsourced somewhere did something that they didn't like, or maybe, something you did, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, because a lot of these freight guard reports are not fair and they will do them for no reason at all. But yeah, they will do it, even if you're an owner operator with your own MC number. Risk management, what's headset best for dispatcher? Wireless for sure. When I was, and I'm just going to answer this question because I'm trying to answer more questions like a certain situation on the road, something that will help you in your dispatching, not like technical things. But this is what I use. This one I had in my truck, right? So it's wireless. It's just a regular Bluetooth headset. And most of the computers nowadays have Bluetooth capabilities. If you are using a voice over IP company, then you can use it that way. A lot of smaller companies are switching to that, only some bigger offices and some traditional people will still use a phone. And I have two brand new phones here in my drawer that I have never been using. I'm just using either my cell phone or the app on the computer. It's so much easier, right? So yeah, anything will work for you. Yeah, this was great. 1 hour as I predicted, and I think 1 hour is just enough. And then I'll try to come another day around noon. So I want to maybe try to make this a regular schedule. I don't know the days yet, but I think noon will work for me and probably for you guys as well. If you have any questions that you think I should talk about, just leave it in one of my videos, like any video that you see on, because I see all comments. I can't answer all of them. Like for example, I'll show you here. I'm gonna find the comments here. I'm just gonna show you the way it looks like. So just leave me a question here and I'll try to address it in one of these streams in the future. Let me go to comments. And I'll show it to you in a second here. I'll try not to forget. So community. Okay, here we go. All right. So I see all the comments here and all of them are held. I have to approve each comment. I don't want any swearing, anything like that. So like if you go here to held, right now there is nothing here because I approved all of them. But here I see I would go, like sometimes there is no need to answer back. What I do is I would just like it or heart it, something like that, just to acknowledge that I seen the comment and that I liked it. But if you leave a question in any of these videos, like see all these videos here, I will write it down, make a screenshot, and then just try to answer it in one of the future live streams. I'm gonna go back to for comments. For phone, so what's the app name on your computer? Oh, for the phone, we use Dialpad. Dialpad has been working for us. There are many other apps that you can use, but Dialpad is the one that we are using. So thanks everyone for watching. It was nice to see you all here. And like I said, I'll try to do more live streams. I know I keep promising that, but I really have to. I'll see you guys later. And then hopefully the new year, the next year will be better for the trucking industry. Stay safe and see you guys later.